Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got the Beta FPV Cetus X FPV kit and we're going to be reviewing it. Now this kit comes with everything that you need as a beginner to get into flying FPV. It has the transmitter, it has the goggles and the drone and batteries and all the accessories you need to get into flying. Let's get straight into it. This FPV beginner setup comes in a very nice hard shell portable case. Now inside you'll see everything has a specific location where it's supposed to go. And it has these nice Velcro straps holding it down so it's not jangling everywhere while you're carrying it around. First off, in this small compartment we have 2 extra batteries. We get 4 total, the other 2 are in our drone, so these are 2 extra batteries. Now inside this little baggie you see we have extra props and we have some extra screws and a small screwdriver. We also have an adapter to plug in the flight controller if you ever need that. The other things that are in this little compartment is the charger and a cord. Now this cord works for everything and you're going to use it for multiple things like plugging in your goggles to charge them, plugging in your transmitter to charge them, also plugging in your batteries to charge them, and also you can use this cord to hook up to your computer if you want to use the transmitter for a flight simulator. Now let's take a quick look at this controller. I'm actually pretty impressed with this controller, being that it came in an all-in-one kit and you feel like most controllers in an all-in-one kit wouldn't be that great, but this one feels pretty good in the hands. The gimbals don't feel bad at all, and I could fly with this controller all the time. It doesn't feel that much different than some of my other controllers that I've owned, so I'm pretty impressed with it. It has a couple 2-way switches on it. It has 2 3-way switches. The battery in here, as far as I know, is a 2000 milliamp battery, and that gives you around 15 hours of flight time, which is pretty impressive. And that's really all you need before plugging it back in, getting it charged back up. One cool thing about this controller is even though it comes in an all-in-one kit, you can take an external module and plug it in on the back if you want to run another protocol, which is pretty cool. Also, like I said earlier, you can use it for playing flight simulators. Now let's take a quick look at these goggles. For box goggles, I feel like these goggles are pretty good. Now, do they compare to my Fat Shark goggles? No, because this whole kit that I got here costs less than my Fat Shark goggles, so obviously they aren't going to be as good, but I was very impressed for box goggles and how cheap this kit is, how good a quality these goggles were. And also one cool thing about these goggles is you can record DVR. If you don't know what DVR is, that is like recording the video out of your drone in the goggles, so then you can put it on your computer and look back at your flying. Last but not least, we have the drone. And I know you've probably been waiting on this. This is a 2-cell version drone, so it's more meant for outside, which you'll see in a little bit. I'll get it up in the air so you can see me flying it. Now this drone, you can get about 5 minutes of flight time, obviously depending on how you fly. For me, I'm going to get less. I'm probably going to get 3 to 4. Now if you're a beginner, you're probably going to get at least 5 minutes. So in the FPV world, that is a pretty long flight time. Now before we get into more specifics on the drone, I wanted to let you guys know, if you want to purchase a drone, I have a code that you can use to get 20% off of the drone, and I'm going to leave that code down below and also the link if you're wanting to purchase it. Let's go over some more specs on the drone. Now the drone does come in at 55 grams. On the drone we have the 11,000 kV motors, and on those motors we have the Gemfan 2020 4-blade props. Now for the flight controller we have the F4 2S 15 amp elrs FC. Now for a beginner that might make no sense to you, but those are pretty good specs. On the camera, I believe it's the Runcam Nano 4. Now I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. They had multiple cameras listed on this thing, so I'm not 100% what camera's on here, but it did look really good quality when I was looking through the footage. Now this camera angle on this drone can be switched in between 0% all the way up to 40%, so that's really nice if you're wanting to go slower as a beginner. You can put it down to 0%, but as you progress you can tilt that up to 40% and go a lot quicker around your yard. The VTX on this thing is 25 to 400 milliwatts, so you can adjust it whatever you want. Now I do like seeing 400 milliwatt on this thing, being that most people are going to be flying this outside because it's meant more for outside flying. Okay, let's go ahead and get this thing up in the air. Straight out of the box, it's super simple. All we have to do is turn on our transmitter, turn on the goggles, and plug in the drone. And then all we got to do is push the arm button and you're ready to get flying. personally didn't mess with any settings on this drone, and you can see how good it flies right out of the box. Now this drone does come in at $310, but if you use my code WIN24BF, I'll leave it down below so you can use it. You'll save extra about $60, which will get you down to around $250, which I believe is a strong value for what you get in this kit. Keep in mind you'll be able to use the transmitter in the goggles for other setups if you want to expand your quad collection. Overall, I feel like this is a great setup for beginners if you're wanting to get into it, or even see if you want to get into FPV. It's a great setup. I wish I would have had this when I got into FPV. It would have saved me tons of money because I blew a lot of money on junk products, and we just didn't have something this quality for this cheap back when I got into FPV. As you can tell in the video footage that I attached of this thing flying, you can throw it around quite well. Now for a beginner, it has all the power you'll need. My first drone, even though it was a 5-inch, didn't have as much power as this thing. So overall, like I said earlier, very impressed, and I would recommend it to you if you're just wanting to get into FPV and need an all-in-one kit to get started. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If I can't answer, hopefully I can point you in the right direction. We'll see you guys next time.